Hello class 7 children, how are you all? So today we are going to study the last part of this chapter, town traders and craft persons, and this part is new towns and traders. So now let's see. So what happened in 16th century and in 17th century? There were European countries and they were searching for some material for their industries and for trading. So these European countries, what kind of material they were searching? So these things were like spices and like textile. These two things were in demand. So these European countries, they were searching for spices and textile. Okay, so they wanted to conduct these trading activities so that they could earn a lot of money and they could obtain raw material for their industries, and they can do sale and purchase items and they could gain profit. Their ultimate motive was to gain profit. So these European countries like Britain, they made their companies. English, they made East India Company. Dutch people, Dutch East India Company. French people, they made French East India Companies. So because India was in the east, according to Europe, India is in the eastern direction. So their country and name and East India Company. So that is how they formed their companies. So when these companies were formed, to expand their commercial activities, their trading activities, right? So here the point is, these companies, these European countries, they were searching for spices and textiles, and in their search they made their trading companies. They make their East India Company, Dutch East India Company, English East India Company, French East India Company, like that. So when these traders, these European traders, these European trading companies, when they started to come to India and starting trade with India, so that time there were some very good and big Indian traders also. So these great Indian traders like Maulana Abdul Ghaffar, this is the trader, and another one is Virji Vora. So these such kind of big traders, they did some competition with them because they were having a large number of ships. Okay, so they did competition, they competed with them. But actually these European companies, they were much powerful and they were using their naval power. Okay, so they gained control over the sea trade. They controlled the entire sea trade, and these Indian traders, they were working just as agents. So these Indian traders, they were made just as agents of these European trading companies. So this happened, right? Ultimately, English emerged as the most successful commercial and political power in this subcontinent. Subcontinent means Indian subcontinent. And who became the most powerful? So they were English and East India Company, you can say British East India Company. They became very powerful in Indian subcontinent. So here in 16th and 17th century, they were searching for these material like spices and textile. Later on, to conduct these activities, they formed their trading companies. Okay, and after that, some Indian traders, they were doing some competition with them, but they were not able to compete with them because these companies, they were having huge resources and revenue and a lot of manpower also, so and naval power. So with the help of their naval power, they were trading this, and the successful model was created by English East India Company. English East India Company, they captured the entire trade of this subcontinent. Next, so the demand was increasing of these all the things, especially textiles demand was increasing a lot. So in this process, these all the work like spinning and weaving and bleaching and dyeing, these all the work, they became more important, and more number of people, they started to do these activities. More number of people, they involved in these activities. Spinning making yarn, spinning like making yarn. Weaving means making clothes. Okay, bleaching means making the cloth white, making it clean. Okay, dyeing means coloring on the cloth. So many people, they started to get job in these all the works. These works were spinning, weaving, bleaching, dyeing, etc. Right. So Indian textile and its designs became increasingly refined. Means design and quality of Indian textile, it became more better. Okay, and but there were some loopholes also, some issues were also. Actually, there was a decline of independence of craft persons. Those Indian people who were involved in this process in weaving and making of clothes, their independence was reducing. Okay, they were not independent in their work. Do you know why? Now let's see. Because these people have started to work on the system of advances. Now what is this system of advances? In this system of advances, these British agents or British company people, they used to provide them money in advance. Okay, they used to provide money in advance to these weavers, and they used to give them orders. And now according to their orders, these weavers need to prepare the clothes. So if they have taken advance money, so now they are forced to give the material which is prepared by them to these European agents only. Okay, it is a promise now. They have done promise and they will have to give this material to them only, because they have taken money in advance from these European agents, right? And these weavers, now their liberty is lost, their freedom is lost. Okay, so they cannot make cloth according to their own designs, according to their own choice, according to their own patterns. They need to follow these designs which are suggested by these European agents, right? So that is how their freedom was lost properly. Okay, next, they had to produce and design supplies to them by the company agents, as the company agent want, as they demand, as they need to prepare the material, right? So many people, when textile trade in textile, when it increased, so many people engaged in many works which are related to cloth. Okay, like spinning, weaving, bleaching, dyeing, etc. And in this entire process, Indian cloth and Indian textile designs, they became far better, they become much better. Okay, but in this process, when European agents came to India, so in this process, Indian weavers, they lost their independence. Indian craft persons, they lost their independence. Okay, why they lost their independence? Because they have started to work on the system of advance. They were taking money in advance from these European agents, and they were preparing clothes according to their choice. As they were demanding, according to their demand, they were preparing, Indian weavers were preparing clothes for European agents. So this was happening. So there was a change in this trading system, right? Earlier they were free, but now they are not free. Next, so in 18th century, they saw the rise of Bombay, Calcutta and Madras, and which are noble cities today also. Nowadays also, these three cities are very important, very prominent cities like Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. Means those cities which were earlier, they were flourishing, now they lost their value, and some new cities, some new trading center, they gained importance, and these were Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. Okay, so these crafts and commerce underwent major changes as merchants and artisans, they were moved to black towns. Means when European agents came to India, when they have settled here, they have started trade in India. So those people, those who were the Indian weavers, Indian craft persons, they were kept in black towns. Their areas were known by the name black towns, because according to color, these Europeans are white, so they used to call themselves white people, and to Indians they were calling black people, right? So which were the colonies of Indian people? They were known as black towns. where Indian weavers, Indian traders, they used to live. So Indian people's colonies were known as black towns, right? So these were black towns. So in this time, this new concept emerged. This is the concept of black towns. And who were living in black towns? These native weavers and craftspersons and traders, right? So black native traders, craftspersons, they were confined here in black towns. And in white areas, means those who were white rulers, who were Britishers. So those people who were whites, they were living in new and advanced areas, in different areas, which were known as white colonies. For example, Fort St. George in Madras, and in Calcutta, Fort St. William. So in such kind of good, new and advanced colonies, these white people, they were living. And this concept was known as black areas and white areas, like that. So when you will be in class 8 in next year, you will study a proper detail of this trade which was conducted by British East India Company, these European powers, and how they controlled over Indian trade, and how they tortured people, and how they became master of this land. So this whole entire process you are going to study in the next year. What happened with the weavers and craftspersons because of their arrival. So these all the things you will study in class 8. So now let's have a revision. Number 1, in 16th and 17th century, European companies, they were searching for material. Okay, these were specially spices and textile. Next, they made their companies like East India Company, Dutch East India Company, French East India Company, like that. Okay, some Indian traders, they did some competition with them, like Maulana Abdul Ghaffar and Mullah Abdul Ghaffar and Virji Vora. They did a little competition, but they failed actually, because they were using their naval power and having huge resources. So Indian traders, they became just their agents. And after that, English East India Company was very much successful in this matter, means it captured the Indian trade. After that, demand was increasing of cloth, so many people, they engaged themselves in spinning, weaving, bleaching and dyeing in this process, and quality of Indian textile, it refined, it became better. After that, in this entire process, there was one negative thing. And what was negative? Means Indian traders, means Indian weavers and craftspersons, they were losing their independence. Why? Because they started to work on advance money. When they received advance money from European agents, so they were forced to give their material which is prepared by them, to these European masters only, and they were forced to prepare material according to these European agents' choice, as they used to demand, as they used to make. So this was the system. And later on in 18th century, some other areas became more important, like Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. They became a center of trade. And after that, some areas, they were known as black towns. Which areas were known as black towns? So these were the areas where Indian traders, native traders and craftspersons, they were living. So these areas were known as black towns, and some areas were white, where these colonial masters, they were living in these areas. 2 examples are given, like Fort St. George in Madras and Fort St. William in Calcutta, right? And the next story of this new kind of trade, where some changes were there and European, they were becoming master of this land, this you will study in next year, right? Thank you very much.